that's it. Oh, well, bad luck. Good season. Great to finish the year beating the top of the table team.
So by now the Spirit have got the cartons out now.
Yeah, that's it.
They've got the flights, they've got the passports, they're off to Bali.
But there was another scenario that people sort of talked about but didn't really think it was ever really a chance of happening. New South Wales Country Eagles taking on Brisbane City. These teams were in 4th and 5th. Basically, whoever won that game was guaranteed a spot in the finals. They drew. They drew 38 all. 38 all. So lots of points scored. I think
no defence.
I think New South Wales Country led 38-14 or something at one point as well. So had the game wrapped up, and Queensland City came back, got it back to 38 all, and that was how it finished. And everyone's like, well, what does that mean? Well, that means neither of those teams make the finals, and Perth Spirit does, because they've got a better for and against.
So this is
unbelievable.
This is the Bradbury. This is the Stephen Bradbury.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
I'm just coasting along behind here. If everyone falls over in front of me...
How quick do you think the coaches got on the phone and said, guys, do not book those flights?
You are not going to Bali this week.
They're there. Yeah. They've got their first scooter and a bintang, and they're off.
Instead, you're going to Canberra.
Oh, no.
That's
bananas.
You know, football is a wonderful game, isn't it? You just cannot... It just doesn't matter. Like I said, as soon as you're pulling out mathematics and results going your way, that's pretty much where you ride off your season. You go, we're not going to make it now. That is phenomenal. That's fantastic. Well, good on the Perth Spirit.
Where are they off to?
Yeah, who are we playing?
Who are we going up against?
Well, because they beat Queensland Country, that drops them down to second. So we are playing the team that finished first, which is the Canberra Vikings. So we're off to Canberra to play them in Canberra.
Canberra Vikings.
Is there anyone that actually is in Canberra that's not either an AFP officer or a politician that can actually play rugby?
I'm not sure where the
Vikings came from.
Well, the rugby league team are the Raiders, which is their symbol's a Viking, and their rugby union team is the Vikings. I don't. Okay. I'm like you. I'm not sure where the Nordic influence is.
Water-based...
they're a landlocked territory.
Yeah.
It's,
the Canberra Johnny Howards probably wasn't going to be so popular. The Canberra Keatings.
No. Let's get a few in there. Yeah.
Well, I said the only thing you got in Canberra is politicians and AFP officers.
Yeah, very true.
Well, didn't it win... Was the only Australian city to make, I don't know, the best one of the best places to live? I think it was number 2. Was Canberra.
I don't even know it's a place to live.
What?
It was like, I have no idea what the criteria was, but it was the only Australian city that made this best places to live list, and it was Canberra in second spot as being a place that Australians run down, but it's fantastic parks and...
So Canberra to me is the same as like that bloke up near Geraldton that's got his own principality.
The Hutt River Province.
Yeah, the Hutt River Province. That's what Canberra is like, just kind of this... It's in the middle of New South Wales, and they've gone, stuff this, let's just set up shop here and we'll call it the capital.
Yeah.
Hey. Oh. Anyway, we played Canberra right back in round 2 in Canberra, and we lost, but it was only 33-26. With a bit more on the line, our finals experience, the defending champs. Hopefully we can knock them off this time, and then we go straight into the grand final.
They've got to be a bit of confidence going in, because the Queensland side was going to be taking number 1. Queensland Country is going to be number 1, and they're not number 1 because we knocked them off. So,
the other important point to note from that game is we were missing, I think, 7 or 8 players who were playing for the Barbarians, who almost beat the Wallabies. Yes. The 31-28, and it looked like the Barbarians were going to embarrass the Wallabies.
Leading at half time.
Yeah. We had 8 players from the Perth Spirit playing in that game, so we were down on numbers, playing against the team that was on top. Basically nothing to play for because we're no chance of making the finals, and yet somehow we won. We made the finals.
Oh.
No,
go the Piggies.
Yeah, that's it. Get on them. Get around them. Because that's... it must be a WA thing. has to be a WA thing where it's mathematically impossible, but you make it. So well done to the Spirit. We're behind you. We're back in a moment and we'll get stuck into the Women's Ashes, which is going to kick off very soon.
This is In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donny on VCA 885 FM, where the Valley comes alive.
Yeah, sorry, quick addendum there. It has kicked off. I meant like the game this weekend. Yeah. Or the game this week, sorry.
Yeah, so basically we're currently in the one-day format of the Australian, of the Ashes, Women's Ashes series. Basically, Australia are up 2-1. Unfortunately for us, we did cough one up on the weekend there, but...
it's a great concept, I think, the Women's Ashes. Like the multi-format. So it's not just 5 tests. They play 3 one-days, they play 1 test match, and then 2 2020s.
It's a day-night
test match.
Day-night test as well. Pink ball, so...
At the infamous North Sydney Oval.
Yeah.
Dangerous pitch. It's going to be called off.
So it might be over in 2 days. Yeah.
I do like the day-nighters.
God, they usually get a
good
result,
concept.
I'm not a fan. It's one of those things that I feel that the ball is the biggest thing. Even the ladies were saying it, as well as the how the Sheffield Shield guys are saying they were playing the day-nighter up at Brisbane there. They were saying as soon as the lights went down, as soon as the lights came on, the pitch changed completely. So
yeah, it does.
So,
but is that a bad thing? As a person that's like, I get it. As a player, it's
are we after a result for Test cricket in 3 days or 2 days? Or
I just think it's interesting to watch. Like all of a sudden, you got a bloke.
The ball starts hooping around.
You're in there. You're on 120. You're smashing the ball all over the place, and then all of a sudden you're struggling and hitting, playing and missing. I don't know.
Yeah. It is a batter's game a lot of the time. Like, I mean, a lot of the rules are set up to protect the batters more than the fielders and the bowlers. So I guess it's nice to have one up on them.
For me, I mean, what's more exciting, a wicket or a 6?
Whoa. That's actually a really, really good question. And hit us up at the Sheds 885 or on Facebook. What do you prefer, a 6 or a wicket? What's more exciting? That's a very, very good question.
I'm a little bit concerned that we could, if we're going to play it in Brisbane. Admittedly, the first day-night test of the Ashes is going to be in Adelaide. So, but I digress anyway. But yeah, the
women, the women, they're going well.
Yeah.
So they've won 2 from 3. WA's so Nicole Bolton's going really well. The WA girl, she's had a couple of good performances with the bat.
Just listening to it on the radio, I've only ever heard her name is Schultz. So best of the bowlers, 4 for 44. She's been a machine through the last 3 of them. She's obviously not sure quite what she bowls, but she's obviously the leading wicket taker for both sides anyway. She'd be easily on top. So
worst second game, the captain, the Australian captain, Haynes.
Yep.
89 off 56. Like we had some good performers. I think we had 2 or 3 people got half centuries, but the captain comes out, hits 89 off 56, and basically the game was over from there. Even after we lost Elise Perry, I think early on in the game, bowled 2 beamers. So one that sort of went well over the top of the head of the batsman, and the wicketkeeper was lucky to get up high enough to stop it from going for buys.
But then
the next one was above waist height as well, and she was taken out of the attack, not allowed to come back in. So
basically, England won the last one by 20 runs. But I think from listening to the game, I think we were actually quite lucky to be actually in the game midway through the game, because judging by what their scoring rate, England were definitely on track for 300 plus.
Yeah.
So to only have to chase
that should again.
So yep, really drew them back into the game. Really brought them back into the game. So,
and again in that game it was Healy and Bolton at the top of the order. 118 run opening stand, but
once we lost
after they fell, we sort of struggled a bit, and we were close enough. We were within striking distance, but couldn't get it done. But when in the box seat heading into the 5-day game, the girls don't play a lot of 5-day games. They've never played with the pink ball before.
Yep.
Alyssa Healy's sort of leaning on her husband, Mitchell Stark, to sort of...
Which way does this thing go?
Yeah, exactly. How do we do this? It's not really her role as the keeper, but she can sort of provide a bit of insight, I suppose, to the rest of the girls as to what to expect. And
Just a quick question as well, and it's one that we've probably brought up a few times, but has there ever been a season of cricket where the name Duckworth Lewis has been brought up as much as it has this year? This is ridiculous.
Well, I'm not sure. And listening to commentators as well, they still don't know what it is or how to calculate it. I think some of these rain-affected, the rain-affected match, they took 2 overs off the Aussies, but they only had to chase down 5 less runs. So
it's
basically 2 overs. We were deprived of 2 overs of batting, but they only took 5 runs off the score.
It's a really
So
complex
2.5
formula based on, at the time, how many wickets are you down and how many overs are
Perspiration.
left, and it's ridiculous.
I remember, I've been watching cricket for a while, and there'd be, like maybe a few, there'd be a handful of games where you'd hear Duckworth Lewis thrown about, but it's almost like every single week there is a game that's affected by Duckworth. Oh, Mr. Duckworth, he just keeps popping in and saying g'day and messing it up. But
As you say,
I don't think he had too much influence on this game. I think England were always a better team.
England were, but
They deserved that win, and good on them. It's made the series interesting. If we had a 1-3-0, basically I think we only need one more win in the next 3 games to seal the series across the 2 different formats. So,
all up we need 8 points.
yeah,
Or
so it's 2 points per game or something, isn't
2
it?
points.
So 4-2.
Yeah, so now and then I think it's 4 points for the test. So
So we win that. That's it.
Yeah,
we
we're
retain the Ashes. I haven't done a lot of... You sounds like you've done more work than me on this.
Yeah, there's a little bit on there. So, but they've where they go from here with that sort of Duckworth Lewis. Yeah, I'm not sure, but we'll do a little bit more research for the next one.
yeah,
I'm pretty certain it is 4 points for the test, and then as you said, another 2 out the back end there. So
For the 2020.
We're
So
pretty-
1 each
we're-
for the 2020s, is it?
yes.
no worries. We'll be back in a moment. We've got the Western Warriors and the Wildcats coming up.
This is In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donny on VCA 885 FM, where the valley comes alive.
That's right, you're in the Sheds, and you can hit us up on Twitter at the Sheds 885. And we're interested to know, what do you prefer? Do you think a 6 is more exciting or a wicket?
My money's on a wicket.
Yeah, I must admit, I do like to see a 6, but I think a wicket just amps up the entire
You only get 10
outfield.
of them a match.
Yeah,
If
that's
you're
it.
lucky, you could get 10 in
Yeah.
10
Well,
balls.
if you got
from
Chris Lynn, it's about 10 and 10
Have a
balls.
look at the Big Bash.
Yeah.
That's basically just changed the whole demographic of cricket watching over the
It's
summer
it's
period.
made
Over the,
sixes
over that
less
Christmas.
exciting, I think.
Well, I won't say less exciting, but it's more expected, if you know what I mean. Like,
Oh, I must admit, the Big Bash is amazingly set up for like families and stuff like that. The kids love it because it's so bright and colourful and just everything going on. And
it's done in an hour and a bit.
yeah,
or
everyone
2
wants to see the
3
wickets.
hours.
Everyone wants to see the big hits.
I think that's probably been the biggest surprise with the Big Bash is the fact that, everyone thought, 2020 cricket, that's the end of spinners. But they've been a massive role in restricting runs, and the way that they bowl, the defensive way that they can bowl. Is,
Zampa probably wouldn't have had too much of a career if it wasn't for the 2020, because that's where he's come through. Hoggy's a superstar.
No, he's
I
not.
love Hoggy.
He's garbage. He's lost to us. He's nowhere.
I blame JL for Hoggy.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay, so Western Warriors.
Good win.
In the Shield match.
Great win. That's it. They basically cleaned them up. Coulton Isle, the destroyer. And, we're off.
What happened to Tassie in the 4th innings? Because it was a pretty tight game. Like, we were always sort of just ahead.
Yep. There's a